Enemy Intel is brought to you by Rothman Orthopedics at Jefferson Health, the official orthopedics and healthcare partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Brandon Graham and the Eagles defense will face a Minnesota Vikings offense that's very pass-heavy right now. And this is an offense that will attack down the field. And they're very good. Everybody knows John DeFilippo. He's the offensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings. He was here the last 2 years. He knows this Eagles defense well. And one thing he knows is he's going to see a lot of single high safety looks, more often than not the zone version of that, which is cover 3. And against the Rams in the Vikings last game, they called a play that is so beautiful against cover 3. It's what we call sluggo seam. So what you're seeing here is Stefon Diggs split right. He's going to run the sluggo route. Now what the quarterback Cousins is trying to do, and does really well here, he's going to pump that because he wants to move the single high safety. That's Cousins' job. He needs to move the single high safety to the side of Stefon Diggs, because on the other side, from the slot, you have Adam Thielen, one of the best slot receivers in the NFL. Thielen is running the seam route. This is executed about as perfectly as you can do. You get the pump, you get the safety moving to the side of Diggs, you get Thielen down the seam, clean, a touchdown against cover 3. Now, this is a challenge for the Eagles. The Eagles, as I said, play a lot of cover 3, and there have been some issues with communication. They've given up a few more big plays than we're used to seeing them. So it's a challenge because right now, the Minnesota Vikings offense is about the passing game with Kirk Cousins and 2 really, really good receivers on the outside in Stefon Diggs and Adam Thielen.
All right, Ike Reese, the Vikings love to throw the ball down the field. Kirk Cousins averaging 347 yards a game, third best in the NFL, and they're throwing it 47 times a game, most in the NFL. What do the Eagles need to work on? Because they're giving up some big plays here.
Well, you better pay attention to where number 19 and number 14 are. Adam Thielen and Stefon Diggs, arguably the best duo of wide receivers in the league. But if the Eagles defense are going to cut down on the explosive plays, that's plays over 20 yards, they have to play fundamentally sound defense. That means everybody doing their job in the defense because the other guys are relying upon you. Now, you watch this big play here that Tennessee was able to get. We got a little bit of a cover 3 going on here with these 3 guys, but it's also a robber combination, cover 3. So you still got guys that are responsible for deep thirds, and you're going to have where you basically drop kick the safety down in here who takes this crosser, and then we need a corner to come back and play deep third there. So watch as this play develops. The safety is basically taking away the inside. You know, if this receiver goes out here, then you're going to have Ron Darby out here ready for him. If the receiver goes across, safety's going to take him. With this receiver threatening out here or here, Jalen Mills has to stay there. Now, here's the key to this defense in defending this big shot. You got max protection going here. Quarterback has a lot of time to throw the ball. You got to have this corner squeeze. As this receiver comes here, he needs to squeeze, not cover grass out there, because this corner is dependent on him to be in the deep third of the field. So as you watch this play unfold, you can see how it's the right defense call. Jalen's on the outside. Now, if you can get Ron Darby just to squeeze to the hash a little faster, you're going to have an in and out on Corey Davis here. But because Ron Darby is a little slow to recognize and then get back in the deep third, he leaves Jalen, who's doing his responsibility on the outside, really with a lot of field to cover. That's difficult for any cornerback to have to cover. Jalen taking a lot of unjust heat for big plays being given up, but it's really the defense and being fundamentally sound. Now watch Tennessee. Like in this league, you have success early in the game. The offense is going to come back to it. They give them a different formation, but they get to the same concept. Eagles in cover 3. You get the safety coming down to Rob. Now, Jalen Mills, his job is this receiver coming here or out. Jalen's going to stay with him. Ron Darby has the same responsibility, deep third here. If this receiver decides to go here, Ron has to squeeze, but he's squeezing knowing that he has help from Jalen Mills as long as this guy settles down. So as we watch it, it's going to go according to plan. Jalen Mills recognizes it, gets back deep. Now here's the key here. Because both of these guys have him covered, Marcus Mariota has to pull the ball down. He wants to go deep. He can't throw it deep. It winds up for a quarterback rushing attempt there. But the Eagles were much better in the defense technique and what they were supposed to do. Both guys playing their responsibilities. That's how you play great team defense. It's never one guy when you see big plays given up. It's typically a team-oriented thing, and if you get all guys doing their responsibilities, you'll cut down on the big plays. The thing that's hurting the Eagles right now is that when you see these big plays, there's typically one or two guys who aren't doing their job, and that's how mistakes happen.